So this is Darth Blint, and this is Artemis trying to get him to take a bird bath. I am Groot, but he's not really interested. But I'm making this video because someone asked me, how do you get your Quaker parrot, onto solid foods? So while we wait to see if Artemis will take a bird bath, let's talk about that, shall we? Well, the thing when it comes to Quaker parrots is the bonding process can take a while if you get them when they're too old. Come here, baby. I love you. But see, Artemis doesn't really mind me whatsoever. Look, water. Water. But to get them to start eating solid foods, what you need to do is buy some millet, because it's like candy to them, and then hang it up in their cage like a toy that's really low so they can reach it, because they can't really climb when they're really young, and they'll start tearing it apart because that's their natural instinct, is to tear things apart. And as they tear things apart, they'll be like, oh, that tastes good, and they'll start chewing it up a little bit. And when you start to find shreds of little pieces of millet in the bottom of their cage, that's when you know. Look, that's when you know that they're starting to work those muscles, and they're starting to get the concept a little bit. And what you want to do as well is start to take their millets, tear it apart into the little balls, and mix it with pellets and put it in a bowl. Or once they start tearing apart a string of millet, take the string of millet and put it in their food bowl, wherever you're going to feed them at. And then have them come to the food bowl to grab the millet and tear it apart. And what you're doing is associating the chomping, eating sensation with that area of their home. And Artemis, I don't know if he wants a bath or not. He's been molting. He can now fly again, which I'm very happy about. But so ultimately, it comes down to a few things. One, getting them, once they start playing with their millets, which you're going to be playing with it before they ever digest it, in their food bowl, then you start breaking it apart a little bit and mixing it with pellets. And this is what I did for Artemis. And so there would be about a 70% millet, 30% pellets, and then I would do a 50-50 after a while, and then I would do like a 30-70, and then eventually down to just pellets. And eventually they start to get the idea, hold on, this is yummy. And they'll take their food, and they'll put it in their beak, and they'll walk over to their food bowl, and they'll go. That way they can taste their food. Birds can't produce saliva, so he doesn't want to look at the camera. Artemis! He's just sitting there wondering what he's going to do. So they usually like to get their food wet so it has taste, because that's the only way they can taste it. And that's another thing you can do, is take some millet, wet it down a little bit after they start tearing it apart for fun. Just take it, dip it in water, and then hang it up. But when you do that, you have to remove it like with that day. Can't leave it in there overnight wet like that. But or I wouldn't suggest it. And then they'll start to not only see it as a toy, but they'll start to see it as, well, this is pretty fun. This is pretty tasty. This is delicious. And then you can do the same thing with their pellets when you put it into the bowl. When you start to mix the millet with the pellets, mist it down a little bit so that they can taste the good flavors, and they'll be more inclined to want to eat it. Because the whole idea is to get them to go, mmm. And also, I would suggest pellets for Quaker parrots, not seeds or anything like that. They can have nuts and stuff as snacks, and pellets is way better for them. You can see he's not scared of me at all. Hey, baby. Come here. Step up. What are you doing? Let's see if I can slowly put him down in the water. What does he do? What's he going to do? He may fly away. He's like, what are you doing, Dad? Oh, he's trying to climb up my arm. Okay, I get it. I get your message. Here, step down. Oh, be careful, baby. I get it. You don't want to be in the water right now. Do you see how he's totally chill with me? He's like, what are you doing, Dad? This is the kind of bond or relationship you want with your bird. You want your bird to trust you. And it's like a bank, you know. You can take withdrawals of trust, but you have to earn it, you know, like your credit score. It's like you have a credit score with a bird. The more that you show them that you can trust, that they can trust you, the more dangerous stuff or uncomfortable things that they'll let you do with them, because you have that build up of trust. But so that's what I would do when it comes to getting your bird to eat actual food versus not food. Look, he's trying to make his way around to my hand. He wants to be close to Dad. Isn't that cute? And so if this doesn't answer your questions, or if it doesn't work, there is a few other techniques, but that's usually the first one that's tried because it's got like an 80% success rate. Millet, dry millet, then wet millet once they start playing with it, and then wet millet mixed with seeds in a food bowl instead of hanging up like a toy. And then you slowly switch over to just pure pellets. But you should also include, once you get them onto pellets, you can start to give them other foods as well, which is a good idea. They do like to have a diverse diet, because in the wild they would be eating a diversity of foods. And but yeah, he gets nuts as a treat. You know, he likes sweet potatoes sometimes, and he eats a lot of what I eat. He likes cheese. He eats some cheese, not often. This is going to sound horrible, but he also likes some boiled eggs. I'll give him just a little bit of a boiled egg, just for some protein and some of the fatty acids. It's so good for birds. I would stay away from salty foods when it comes to feeding your bird. Salty foods is a no-no. One, it can choke them. Like, the salt can get caught in their throat and they can choke to death that way. So like salty, if you buy like pretzels or stuff like that, I wouldn't feed them carbohydrates like that anyways, but you technically can. They'll eat it, and it won't be bad for them as long as they don't have, aren't covered with like sea salt or whatever. But yeah, he doesn't really want to take a bath right now, surprisingly. The water's not that cold, but he's just going to hang out with me. So for those of you who are on my channel for Star Wars content, don't worry, that is coming back. I have a range of people who watch my channel, from people who like birds, watch birds, to Star Wars, and yeah, so I'm going to appease everybody. I'm going to do one knowledge bird video a week, one Star Wars video a week, and then a third from a random fandom, you know, that I like. And that's what I'm going to be sticking with for a while. So that way everyone gets appeased, including myself. So that's what I would do if I were you when it comes to feeding and transitioning your bird. And the thing is also be patient. This can take a while. My bird was older than he should have been when he finally switched over to pure pellets. I'd say he gets pellets for about 50% of his diet. But when he finally went to solids, when I say pellets, I just mean solid foods. But yeah, he was. Oh, you gonna play? Artemis, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Look. Maybe. Oh, he's thinking about it. I think he's actually gonna get in, guys. I'm gonna keep recording and see if he does. Look, it's water. Look, he does not care about my hands being close to him. If you go back to watch my first videos, I literally, if I'm being honest, you want to get a bird when he's still eating formula, because you know, having one that you hand feed makes a huge difference when it comes to bonding, because you really get to bypass the okay, let me take 6 weeks to get him to bond with me phase. So, hey, can I get you wet? Are you going to be okay with this? And so you get to bypass that and then go straight to the I love you phase. See, he thinks I'm cleaning him now, and I am. Like, he'll pretend bite me, but he'll, oh, no. He never, like, really bites me. He puts his beak around my finger to be like, yo, stop, bro, or to play. He'll grab my finger and shake it around, but he never bites hard. And that's because we have a bonding relationship. Here, you want some water? See how he's like, no, 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 no. Never attacks my hand. If he wanted to hurt me, he could. Look, beak around my finger, no damage. You know what I mean? He's playing. He's like, what are you doing, Dad? I'm giving you a bath. He is going through his first molt. And I'm proud of that because I was concerned he didn't go through his winter molt. So this is the first one he's ever gone through. And yeah. So everyone will be getting the type of videos they want and everything else. But I'm going to get off here and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.